have you. Introducing the legend himself, non-profit prophet, the epitome representation of a citizen nation. Words encapsulate the many problems which we are facing. The engineer to the designer, the flame of the fire that forms a platform for citizens to elevate higher. The sound of the trumpet, warning war has begun between the rebel aliens and the ignorant ones. Bring my fellow citizens to the plane that I'm from, cause ignorance will leave your brain dead, same as a slug. A straight shooter focused like a laser, same as my gun. The epitome and summary of all the above. Bridging gaps like overpasses, hence I'm bridging the masses. Breaking barriers and walls and flipping ball with his smashes. I'm a general, a captain, a lieutenant, and leader. Since following examples of my citizen senior, the pillars of wisdom, my professors and teachers, all citizens studious to progressive procedure. Now I carry the torch, I'm prophet, and preacher. Gatekeeper to the kingdom, epitome St. Peter. Liberian savior, Luciferian Jesus, with the power to convert you by the end of this thesis. These are words of the written in a reflective condition. Free your mind from any system interjecting suspicion. Keep your logic and reasoning, common sense in your wit. The only tools you need to have when your adventure begins. Pay attention, citizens, to the words that I'm speaking. Every Sunday at 4 o'clock, it's real talk on Vendetti's block.
Yes, sir. In church. How's everybody doing this Cinco de Mayo Sunday?
Is it Cinco de Mayo Sunday already? Can you believe it?
Right.
Bird, happy Cinco de Mayo.
Oh, you too. Appreciate it.
Everybody, happy Cinco de Mayo.
Get some margaritas up in here.
I was gonna wear my Corona shirt.
Oh, there you go.
I changed my mind. I didn't think it looked right. I was like, nah. I almost did it anyway because I do it at home.
What's happening, Joker?
Oh, man, long week. I don't know if anybody noticed. Well, you noticed last week, but I was congested, and I literally woke up with the worst head cold of the year yet. And I was like, well, that's tight. Got the show today, and I don't feel like doing anything.
Yeah, but you did okay. You was on the mic a lot
Yeah.
last night, but you did wonderful, man.
I was
You
on
know,
Sudafed and what's that? Mucinex.
were you on Mucinex too?
Man,
Yeah.
I don't like the way that stuff makes me feel. I don't like taking medicine.
Yeah.
Like I mean, if I want to feel something, like you might as well do drugs. You know what I'm saying? That's my motto. Because I feel so strange on it, and just out of my element, and I can still function, but you know what I'm saying?
Throws the body off. The GE starts to
My
go
taste
wacky.
buds don't. It just jacks your whole system up, and that's just. I'm glad I don't take all kinds of crazy medication. You know what?
What's up?
We should get on that.
Let's get on it.
We should talk about that a little bit. Medication,
Okay.
because we talked about that a little bit.
We
last
did,
week.
yeah. We didn't even touch on it, but
The
yeah.
1
if you
minute
want-
cure.
1 Minute Cure by Madison Cavanaugh is absolutely phenomenal, man.
Yes.
That's phenomenal. What would you like to know about that?
Well, pretty much just give me a rundown of what you told me last week. I know about the hydrogen. I know about the oxygenating
The blood?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I didn't know they had a product, because the only other time I heard of it was you had to get it intravenously, and they were doing that on cancer patients,
Right.
because cancer can't survive in an oxygen-rich environment.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, cancer cannot survive in an oxygen-rich environment.
Which a cancer cell would be called anaerobic, and anaerobic cells thrive where there's no oxygen. They like to thrive in those
Right.
deep, dark areas and crevasses. You know, they do. So what you do is you just oxygenate the blood, and guess what? That diseased cell cannot thrive in that area. It's anaerobic, so if the blood is oxygenated, there's no way an anaerobic cell that's not oxygenated can survive in that.
Okay, you might have lost people because
Okay.
they're like, wait a minute. Isn't there the American Cancer Society and the Breast Cancer Foundation and Breast Cancer Awareness and Brain Cancer Society and the you know?
Right.
I mean,
And here we go.
And their
Here
race
we
for the
go.
cure.
Is it right? Fight against cancer. Fight against this. Fight against that. And law of attraction says when you fight against something, it's going to persist. We've been fighting it the whole time, right? Anyway, blah, blah, blah. So, on that Madison Cavanaugh, man, when the people... Here's the deal. The lobbyists in Washington, they actually pay the government to push a certain drug, whether it be a Cymbalta, whether it be a Prozac, whether it be whatever it is, a Zoloft or whatever.
You can call that bribery.
Call it like it is,
lack of
man.
terms,
Call it like it is.
I mean, that's what we call it where I'm from. I mean, I don't know why they changed it to lobbying.
Right.
I'm gonna start lobbying.
Yeah, and so that drug gets passed, and the doctors, and there's some, you guys, I love doctors. There's some phenomenal ones out there, and they honestly want to help.
Right.
I mean, really, Bird, I mean, they're out there. So you have a doctor that says, well, this medication is supposed to help this. Okay, so they're having anxiety attacks or whatever. This is supposed to help this, right?
Right.
Well, those lobbyists have passed that, but the side effects on those other on those drugs that they are prescribing are, and I'm just going to say, hellacious. They're hellacious, man.
Side effects may include migraine, nausea, like vomiting.
Yep.
Loss of erection.
Loss of erection.
Absolutely.
You might have a heart attack,
Yeah.
brain stroke, and some cases death.
Yeah. Or
Exactly.
Birdie said loss of erection. Or if your erection lasts more than 24 hours, see a doctor. What's
see-
the,
I
I just saw one to get one.
I know what I gotta do for that. You know what I'm saying? It just blows my mind because I'm not like a health nut or anything, but I eat pretty, consistently pretty healthy.
Good.
I try to
Good.
eat, salad 3 times a week and vegetables every day. I pay attention
Fruits,
to what
vegetables,
I consume,
protein. That's what's up, man.
and I don't get inoculated. I never have gotten a flu vaccine. I don't
Neither.
get the flu.
Yeah.
I don't get sick like most people do. And I smoke cigarettes. I smoke blunts. I drink more than most people. And, I don't really exercise. I don't go to the gym. I try to stay active. But
Yeah, I mean, staying active is good. I mean, exercise is phenomenal, and you should stay as active as you. I mean, if the guy doesn't go to the gym, just take a walk, man. Get out there. Get out and invite
park
him.
farther when you go to Walmart.
That's
You
right.
know, there's ways you can. If I have to go get some clothes, I shop at JCPenney's. If I go get some clothes from JCPenney's, I'm gonna park, on the other side of the whole damn mall,
Right.
so I can walk through. I like
Very
looking at
cool.
the honeys too, but I know, I keep track in my mind. It's like I haven't really moved around in a couple of days, like a lengthy, at least a half a mile walk.
Very cool.
I think that's, you got to do that at
And
least
sometimes there's
3
nothing.
times a week or something.
Yeah, sometimes there's nothing better for you than a healthy walk, and that's no
Right.
joke. I mean, you get out there and you walk around the block till things start to look solid. Just keep going, keep walking. You start to feel pretty good, man.
For real.
I mean, the things about these medications is, a person starts, they get a med for this, then a med for that, then a med for this, and a med for that. Then all of a sudden they're on like 10 different meds to try to treat one thing. But you got to think about, these meds is bumping heads and they're offsetting, for creating more and more issues. More and more problem. I see it every single day.
People are dying.
There they are. I mean, it's like, damn, the side effect to this medication is interacting, wrong with another medication. So now you gotta try to get a med to treat that. Then you want to take things away. So it's like, well, damn.
Absolutely.
You know.
For sure. And, those pharmaceutical companies, they're making a lot of money. They're making more than the oil companies, man. Straight up.
Man, it's insane.
Straight up. And
Because like I told you guys when I was coming in, I was like, the medication when I went to, they were like, okay, you have anxiety, you have this, you're kind of crazy. You should take this to balance this out, and and you need to concentrate, so take this too. It's like a $400 a month bill. I can't pay that.
Exactly.
Who can pay for it?
Right. Now, Joker and Bird, do you think that those are actually there to help cure you or to keep you on them?
I think it's 2 things. I think it's like putting duct tape on your car if something's falling off. It's just a temporary fix. You can't, they don't make medicine to fix stuff because people still have ailments. The last thing we cured was polio. And they were like, oops. They're like, we made so much money off of it. We're going broke. We need to invent some new diseases. I think that's what they did. But I just don't see
That is
how
what they
a
did.
logical person can take all that medication and feel the. I mean, it might just be so gradual that it's just like, a couple years later, 2 more meds,
Right.
prescriptions, and 10 years down the road, my grandma took so many pills. I was like, are you for real supposed to take all those pills? Like 10 at a time. At a time. In the little Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, she had like 4 of those.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's crazy.
It was insane.
And the little,
I see it every day.
yeah, and the little teacup like that. They put them in the cup and all that stuff. But yeah.
And she never got better. She was only getting worse gradually. It's like she literally, was gradually going. Maybe the meds helped her not like, but I don't know. How do we know? Maybe they caused most of the problems in the first place.
Yeah, I think
That is what the deal is.
a lot of these meds now is causing more addiction than anything. I mean, like the oxycodones, and I mean, I just I know people who's just they're so whacked out.
I'm not.
It's crazy.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you say, oh, I got some. I hurt myself. Oh yeah, what they give you? Give me some pain meds. Can I have some? Like, what?
Right? What are you talking about? No, you
You got some
can't.
hydros?
Like,
You got some Vicodin?
Yeah.
What's the other?
And there's people who are just, they whacked out on it. And it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's like it's made,
I'm totally
it's made
ignorant
for
when it comes to medication because I didn't even know that there was money in it like that.
Oh
Straight up.
man, it is
Man.
huge.
I
Now-
thought I was on top of all hustles. No. I'm like,
No, this is a
how do
major
you sell
hustle.
something that ain't somebody else's? But the person that has the prescription buys the bottle. It's like not more than $50. Then they can sell it on the street and make like $300. So it's like,
And guess what? Your insurance company pays for that. For you
Exactly.
to go out there and F up like that.
mm-hmm.
So check this out. Okay, so we got the Madison Cavanaugh thing, and basically what that is, it is hydrogen peroxide therapy. All you're doing is really alkalizing your blood. You're putting oxygen into your blood. And once again, a disease cell is anaerobic. A healthy cell is aerobic. So a disease cell cannot thrive in an aerobic environment. So this, let me just say this. I'm not prescribing this to anybody. Pick up the book, Madison Cavanaugh, and it's called The 1 Minute Cure. All right, so I'm not prescribing that at all. You never, ever, ever, and I'm going to say it again, ever take the peroxide by itself.
Hell no.
Never. It's a 35% food grade. It will burn you. It will cause neurological damage. But mixed in 6 to 8 ounces of water, it is nothing but beneficial. And I'm going to keep going on that. So before anybody does that program, read the book first. And it's a quick read, and it's phenomenal. And you're going to see what it cures. It is just phenom. All right, so then we have this, Joker, and Bird. There was, I think it was in Britain. All right, they were doing this, and this is a long time ago, like in the 1800s or something. It's been around for a long time. Okay, so they're taking it. Let's say early 1900s. If I had the book in front of me, I'd give you the date. But what happened is people over there taking that stuff. It was a very, very healthy community. All right, so a lobbyist comes in, right? And the guy was from Britain, and he put out black propaganda, and black propaganda is saying something about somebody or somebody's company that's not true, right? But he was a government official. He was a lobbyist. He knew what he was talking about, and he went in under the guise as a doctor. So we put a lot of faith into doctors, and there are some phenomenal doctors out there.
Oh, yeah.
There's some just beautiful humans out there that are trying to help, that are actually, this guy was a lobbyist, came in posing as a doctor, and said that hydrogen peroxide therapy caused brain tumors. So guess what happened?
Everybody was like, oh.
Yep, and now he had something that was supposedly supposed to fix that, and it was a synthetic drug.
Mm-hmm.
So we have this. This is no joke. Okay, Dr. Atkins.
Yeah, the Atkins diet.
The Atkins diet. He's also a cardiologist, too. Now, when Dr. Atkins was in the Americas, in the States, actually, he was he was prescribing his patients hydrogen peroxide therapy, right? And they threatened to shut his practice down, or give him jail time.
Mm-hmm.
So he went to Mexico and finished his practice there until he died. So we have, and I forget what the numbers are. There's not in America. There is hardly anybody using it because they do not teach it in school. You can go up to most doctors and go, "What do you think about this hydrogen peroxide therapy?" Well, we didn't learn it in school,
Right.
so we can't really, Well, yeah, because it's been suppressed.
If it's not published in the Journal of Medicine, if it's not approved by a board of surgeons,
FDA.
And not even the FDA,
FDA.
Food and Drug Administration. What the hell does food have to do with drugs? How do you regulate food and drugs?
I think they're just trying to keep the environment safe, but I do think there's a hidden agenda within that. Personally, I'm not a conspiracy kind of guy, but I would be very, very careful.
I'll say it. Yeah, the food on purpose. There's stuff in it.
Yep.
Oh, absolutely.
There's stuff in it.
How about the water supply?
Making you fat. The tap water's killing you. Fluoride's not good for you. It's
No,
not
you
good
know
for your
it's
teeth. It's not
absolutely
good for you
not.
at all. They lied to you.
So, real quick on the thing, you guys get a water filter. Or just get some purified water.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, do that. Go ahead, Joker.
And don't buy bottled water because it takes so long for that crap to decompose. It'll never decompose, really. I mean, millions of years, but where was I? I was in acidity in the body. Explain that the alkaline levels.
The alkaline.
Because I don't know if they know about that because you said alkaline. I don't know if they know. that has to
Okay.
do with,
Yeah, all you're doing is
pH
just
balance.
all you're doing is just oxygenating your blood and it getting back to its regular alkalinity, and that just helps the blood flow, cells flow, and all that kind of stuff. And once again, you guys, I'm not a doctor, but I do know that area. So I'm not a doctor, so I'm not prescribing anything.
Well, but you know what's crazy about
It does work. I've seen it. Matter of fact, it's worked on me.
people
It's
with
worked on.
degrees in something like that? They were taught by somebody
Darn
that
right.
was taught by somebody that was taught by somebody that gave lectures, and they, so the same ignorance is getting recycled. They don't know, they're just repeating what they've been taught,
Or they do know.
or they're not, ambitious enough to research and be like, no, that just sounds funny to me.
Yep.
I mean, the first time I heard about it, I'm not a damn doctor, but I was like, I'm checking this out. And I did. And I'm like, it makes sense. In my scientific mind, I analyzed it, and I was like, you know what? The science works out. The chemistry works out perfect.
The being has a knowingness. If
Right.
something's screwed up, you walk into a party or something like that, and you can feel a flow.
Right.
It's like, ugh, let me get out of here.
Right.
Or you can be around some woman and go, well, this probably ain't gonna work out. You might want to listen to that first little instinct.
It's something wrong with her.
And it's the same thing. We all have the innate knowingness in us. We do. So when something is wrong, there's that little twing going, hey, pow, take a look. We have that,
It's the opposite of the other guy going, hey, do that.
right? Yeah, agreed, man.
Oh, man.
So,
But, yeah, the FDA, I don't know. I'm like at war with establishments like that. What else is there? Like the FCC. Like these are things that they keep people rich. They don't. I mean, I don't want to scare people, but this is the basic truth, though. I'm just gonna say it. It's the basic truth. The way we are going as human beings on this earth, how we live, there's no way we can sustain our population. There's way more people being born than that are dying. So we keep growing. So then we keep consuming more resources. We keep releasing more greenhouse gases. And they know this. They know the population is close to like 8 billion now.
Yep.
Do you know what the ideal population for Earth is? For everything to be like sustainable.
and where'd you get the statistic at too? Where'd you get the data for that?
Oh, I'm trying to remember.
Okay.
I drilled it in though.
Okay.
Because I did. Because I've always thought about that. I'm like, isn't there just way too many people on the Earth?
Well,
It's like, I mean, damn, look at China. They can't even. There's so much smog. You can't even. Have you seen the smog there? How it's. I'd be flying over. I'd be like, I'll stay on the plane. I'm gonna go back. Like, I can't. Like, damn, I smoke, and that scares me.
Right.
You know.
I smoke too, Joe. I do.
So how you gonna be scared? I mean, But I mean, geez, But it's well, the Georgia Guidestones.
No.
Really?
The Georgia Guidestones?
The Guidestones?
No. Tell me about that.
It's written in like 4 or 5 different languages, and it has like these kind of like rules.
Okay.
People were trying to commit. I mean, actually, there's better 10 Commandments than what the hell people.
Oh God.
Now,
Yeah. Okay. This is
but
true.
it's pretty much like keep the population under. I think it was 4 million or 4 billion or 5 billion.
Okay.
So that means like, math's like almost 3 billion people got to go.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of people.
It is.
And they're just not gonna be like, all right, we're gonna, So.
So do you think somebody? Yeah. Do you think somebody's adhering to those Georgia Guidestones?
Well, they have to. The guy that placed it there, that had it made and placed where it is, it's in the middle of nowhere in Georgia.
Okay.
And it's also a coincidence. You know how they say? I think Mormons say it too, like the new promised land.
Okay.
It, like down in, Georgia.
There will be a new heaven, a new earth, that kind of thing. Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's written in all these languages, and the guy that paid for it, his last name was, oh man, what was it? But it had like a eerie simulated Rosicrucian.
Mm-hmm.
So they think the Rosicrucians put it there.
Okay.
But I mean, most of them make sense to me. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, because we are, overpopulated.
Mm-hmm.
That's why there's crime. That's why there's.
So you're saying we're living a life full of genocide?
But not just by our. We're having help. There's like a dark hand. That's okay. Think about it. Okay, Bilderberg.
Mm-hmm.
Bilderbergers.
Rothschilds.
Right,
Yep.
Rothschilds.
Mm-hmm.
All these, and one of the lowest level you go is like
You're getting it.
Masons and stuff like that.
Popping off the Illuminati now, buddy. That's where you're going.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, I'm just gonna.
Go ahead, man.
I want
Let
to
it rip.
entertain you guys.
Man, we
on
went from
one of my-
pharmaceutical
one of
companies to
my things.
Illuminati. All right, I'm with you.
Well, because it all ties in.
It very well-
to say like this dark agenda.
Mhm.
Because people are like, you're paranoid, conspiracy theories. I argue with these guys from Denmark and Sweden for hours on Google Plus about it. I'm like, they don't think extraterrestrials ever came to Earth.
Right on.
I'm like, are you kidding me?
And you,
These are scientists. These guys.
Mhm.
And I'm like,
yeah, you would look at Jesse Ventura, right?
oh,
You ever-
he's the man.
Right now check it out. My father was a professional wrestler, right? So I've got stories on Jesse if you ever want to hear it, man. Jesse is.
Can I meet him? We should bring his ass here.
That would be awesome, man.
That would be
That
awesome.
would be nice.
That would be the greatest thing. I would.
Jesse the Body Ventura out of Minnesota likes to fish for crappie.
And not because he was a WWF wrestler, because he is.
He's cool.
He's cool. He is. He knows what's going on.
So check this out. Now, I looked at Jesse as he was the governor of Minnesota, right?
Yeah.
He looked great. He did look absolutely phenomenal. Now, do you know after his stint and how much how much BS he had to put up with, right? So now, did you notice that he went the complete opposite? He knows stuff's going on.
Yeah.
He's out looking for it. I just watched the 9/11 conspiracy. I just watched another one.
You did?
Yeah, with him. He's on there. YouTube it. It's
You
there.
just saw it?
Huh?
You never saw it before?
Not Jesse's.
Oh.
Not Jesse's.
Did you see the?
I've seen the other ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Me too.
Mm-hmm. So yeah. Uh-huh. And so I think Jesse went the opposite way, and he's seeking the truth, and I love it. And if we can get Jesse on here, I will.
You know why he didn't do it really while he was in office, though? You hear about that senator that got lost in a plane crash in Alaska? He was being flown by the best pilot they had up there.
Mm.
Yeah, it's pretty rough up there. Yeah. They never found him.
Wow.
But he was, okay, citizens, if you do research, when people all of a sudden just die, and it seems weird, see what they were doing before that. Go a couple months, maybe even a year, maybe a couple years. It's kind of crazy.
You're looking for the truth,
When you-
studying, and all that.
Well, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I wish I never would have dug so deep. And I don't know if I'm just like super paranoid or if I'm just like super aware. like I watch the news and I'm like, when that Boston thing, I was like, what's going on somewhere else? I was like, they got something going on in right field. Like I know they do. They're like, balls in center field. Look at center field. It's right there. Like, no, they got something going on over here. They're doing something, or they're trying to take attention away from something that was going on.
And that's always been a tactic for the government.
Exactly.
Always has been. So I'm going to go back real quick on the pharmaceuticals. Okay, so the pharmaceutical companies, however that's set up, it doesn't help the client out. Now, guys, I have nothing wrong if for somebody getting tranquilized. So take this for instance. There was a guy that was trapped beneath a building for about 4 days in an earthquake, and the fireman finally got to him where he could just reach his hand out and touch the other guy's hand. Well, the guy starts to freak out because he wants to get out, and I'm sure he's got this building on him, so he's freaking out. So the fireman tranked him just to calm him down, to get him out. Because if not, he probably would have freaked out and died. Right?
Didn't the dude think he was dying? He was like, what's going on?
Well, he was chilled out. Yeah, he was chilled out. But then, can you imagine? You finally, and you start to become aware, and you've got this building on you. So the fireman tranked him, and they got him out safely. Right. So I think there is a spot for that stuff.
Oh, no
doubt. But not permanently. When I'm giving sessions back at Midwest Life Center, I cannot counsel somebody and get to their stuff because they're on the stuff that's not allowing them to get to the stuff.
Right.
So if I start, it's like working through molasses. And there's no way I would give somebody a session being on that. I would just be taking money from them. Right. I can help them out. I can help them feel better. Right? But I'm serious. I mean, I can knock something out in 3 days on somebody. Just boom.
But they'll be back. They'll have to come back next week.
Money. I'm not about that.
Their whole issue isn't getting addressed because they felt better. They were on Prozac. They came and saw you, and you made them feel really good. You're like, yeah. The Prozac's enhancing it and everything like that. And then they go through a low.
Up, down, up, down, up, down. So my thing is, and once again, I don't prescribe. I will never prescribe drugs. I won't even prescribe the vitamins. I would suggest that the person eats fruits, vegetables, a lot of protein, and we help the people back down off of their pharmaceuticals only with the doctor's approval, only with it. So they say they want to back down, and if the doctor won't let them back down, they can go to somebody else that'll help them back down. But it's got to be a doctor, and once they do that, we get their nutrition jacked up. We jack their nutrition through the roof, and then we taper them off those pharmaceuticals very slowly. Because if you don't, never come off those pharmaceuticals, guys. If you're on them right now, jack your nutrition up through the roof, and then back down slow. I can't emphasize that enough because slow. Because if you don't, the side effects are unreal. You don't want those. You know what brain zaps are?
Brain zaps?
Yeah, people come off the Klonopin and things like that. A benzodopamine, benzodopamine, that's one. When you stop that stuff, what happens is you'll get like a shock that goes through their body, and it just hits. And it'll last for about maybe 2 seconds, maybe half second, but that's what goes down, So if I'm backing a client off a medication and they start telling me about brain zaps, then what we do is we go back up on their medication, get the nutrition, make sure that nutrition is in the pocket. Once again, a lot of protein, fruits, vegetables, man. That's what's up. So we get that backed up, and then we bring them down real slow.
Oh yeah, because
we want them off that
your system
stuff
for so long. It's jacking up your serotonin levels, your synapses, how your brain's firing.
Right.
Then now it just gets reprogrammed to another firing, method. And you're like, no anymore.
That's what goes down, man.
Like my car,
Yeah.
That's how my car is.
Yeah. So you have the guy comes in, and the doctor goes, well, who has no clue? You have a chemical imbalance. Okay, the only thing that's really going to start a friggin' chemical imbalance is, here's what's going on. They're giving him the drug, right?
Yeah.
The pharmaceutical. That is replacing the serotonin.
Exactly.
Right? So the brain goes,
I don't need to make this
I don't
anymore.
need to make exactly. I don't need to make this anymore. And so when they try to back down off of it, they can't because the brain's not producing the serotonin. That's where the chemical imbalance comes from, and that's why the protein and the fruits, the vegetables, and protein gets the brain popping again, man.
And on top of that, I don't think everybody. See, this is the whole thing. How do they? Everybody's brain's not the same. It's not firing the same. It's not releasing serotonin the same. It's not, the dopamine levels. It's not everybody's brain. You might have a Ford, and I have a Chevy in my head. You can have a Honda. It's like, how do they know exactly, unless they did brain scans, like intense brain scans, and then cut their head open. It's like, yep, that's what we thought, but we'll give them this medicine now.
But first, we'll cut his front lobes out.
Yeah,
that'll help him.
It'll be like,
no, he's still,
and that's why the side effect of this drug is damn suicide. Because your brain's like, we don't need serotonin, we're good.
Yeah, and you guys, and I'm not making fun of it whatsoever, because I know, people when they go through that stuff, guys, I'm there. I mean, if you ever need help with any of that stuff, I'm there, man, and that's no joke.
I've been through it.
Yeah,
and I have to deal with that shit myself.
Right. So I mean, and I'm making light of it in this wise where it's like, God, I've had suicidal thoughts, right? Well, here, let me give you this pill, and then your suicidal thoughts will come that much faster.
Right?
Exactly. Come on, man.
And let me give you something else. Let me concentrate on those suicidal thoughts.
You're right? Yeah.
Exactly. You can really focus on it.
Even these commercials are saying that if you're experiencing any thoughts of suicide.
Yeah, it's like, then you should stop taking Cymbalta and like, what?
We'll just put you on something different.
And you know what kills me about the commercials? I love their marketing though. It's brilliant.
Right.
As a businessman, when I see their marketing, I'm like, damn, dude, did they consult God on that or something?
Person's all
because
happy,
it's like
smiling.
But if you
it's pretty sad.
If you listen to it, listen to the commercial, listen to the music they're playing.
Right.
And then look at the colors. It's all about, you can manipulate people's emotions through colors and sound.
Exactly.
It's been scientifically proven. You can manipulate somebody through sounds and colors.
Real quick, Joker, if you want to sell something, you guys out there, whoever's listening to, if you want to sell something, just put a red light above your product.
Right?
Yep.
Red light special.
I want to spend. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, and people just study that. So just, yeah, but you're absolutely right on those commercials. And it's sickening.
And then the print, they have all this time to say this. And you ever see the ones where they got the guy that looks like a doctor? And then at the bottom of he's not a doctor. Like,
right, I know. Yeah, he's up there. He's an actor.
What's he got doctor's fatigues on for then? You know, why is he talking like a doctor?
Right.
Why is he? Oh, you're hoping that the other people out there didn't see that on the bottom of the screen saying he's not a real doctor. So now you're see, I don't like my head being toyed with at all. Like at all. If it's one thing I will get combative over, it's you toying with my mind. It's like you can't just sit there and then assume that I'm a damn fool, and I'm gonna watch this and then be a drone. It's insulting. It's insulting as an intelligent human being to be exposed to that kind of stuff. Is insulting. It's like, oh, really? Okay,
right.
Yep.
And you've got some people out there that are looking for anything because I don't want to feel like this anymore. My God, well, you know, all this stuff's going down. I can't seem to get my life on track. I need help, man. Cymbalta. Oh, that's a cool commercial, man.
Right.
Oh, okay. It looks pretty legit because it looks professional. The guy's a doctor,
right? But doctors are still scared to say that marijuana is not harmful. You know what I'm saying? It's like
I've
there is actually I'm going to bring that to a head this summer. I joined this organization. It's pretty much the basic statement is it's safer than alcohol. So how are you going to contest this? If alcohol is legal, I mean, it is a no nonsense argument. If this is legal, this many people die from DUIs.
Right.
And you know, alcohol related crashes, and over here you got, you know, not really much that warrants anything to make it an illegal substance.
What's what you putting in it? Like people are, you know, they're dipping, They're putting all kind of other shit in it to create more of a high.
I'm talking about like
just crazy.
people like me. I smoke it right off the ground.
Well, I mean, yeah, but it's those other people who want.
You're talking about the guys that want the hydrocodone too. But they, oh, you got some hydro? Let me get some hydro.
So I'm talking about is people who want to experience that next level high.
I get tired of people bashing marijuana. And there are all these pharmaceutical drugs. Alcohol is not even getting touched. You know, tobacco, cigarettes. I mean, I'd rather have cigarettes be illegal than, you know, I mean, it's like we are not a common sense nation when it comes to our laws and regulations.
Well, I do is jack the price up on it. It's like cigarettes just keeps increasing. I don't smoke, you know, but
it does go up. We know.
Grocery store, and it just keeps jacking it up.
Yeah.
Because they feel that's gonna stop people from spending, but they ain't gonna stop nobody from spending.
That's one major drive for them though, because most of these companies are owned by a corporation that's publicly traded.
Yeah.
Any publicly traded company has a fiduciary responsibility. So you're screwed right there. You have to make money. You got to screw people over. You can't make the same thing and make money, and then how can you make more money?
Yeah.
You have to either sell more of the product or you have to cut production costs.
Exactly.
And how do you do that? You cut your product with stuff. You add the high fructose corn syrup. It's in everything now. That's like the cut.
Yeah.
You let me go real quick, Joker, on that marijuana. So it'd be like this. I think as soon as the government finds a way to control it, then they'll make it legal.
Huh.
Right? Ouch.
But,
Ouch.
Okay, people still got their gins down south.
The what?
They're still making hooch.
Yeah.
I mean, people are still bootlegging, but it's not like running rampant.
Right.
I ain't got no moonshine. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to get a hookup for moonshine to bring it up. You know, it's not a product like that. I mean, I don't.
Well, they want to make it a product like that, and I think there's some guy, and I could be wrong, left field, and I probably am, but I'm just going to say it anyway. I think there's some guy in one of those offices sitting there, and there's a committee of them going, all right, how can we make this so we can control it, and we can tax it? You know, that's what I'm thinking. I don't have a button on weed. I really don't.
You know how much money the cartel makes off of marijuana?
Oh God.
It is like almost 80% of their income, dude. They don't even really compared like the coke. That was back in the 80s and before. Man, they are making a ton of money. So if you look at the politics in it, these guys will be corporate superstars overnight with their own companies and be CEOs, dude. Straight up. And they're like cold-blooded killers. They're like,
You know, right? I know.
Like, I'm not going to a board meeting with that dude. I heard he had like 10 people in a barrel.
And so yeah. That's my feeling on that, bro. That's yeah.
But anyway, yeah.
I know. Bird's over there just cracking up.
Well, for real, it's like, it is
We're
what it
also
is. It's
looking at-
all about the money.
Well, that's right.
If you took money out of the equation, half this stuff wouldn't even be going on.
Mm-hmm.
It's about greed.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, probably full of violence. All the money was taken away.
Yeah.
Everybody be dead.
So it's up to us, and it always has been.
I just want to make people aware.
I know you do.
I mean, because we got the. When I first started doing research on, when I first heard about the Bermuda Triangle, fascinated me. I'm like, they lost all these ships. They never found any of them.
Right. Airplanes.
6 Navy planes went missing, and then one of the search planes went missing. They couldn't find his ass either.
Right.
And I'm like, okay. I'm like, yeah, I want to find.
Why?
I didn't have Google.
Like Jesse
I
Ventura.
didn't go to the library.
Why? I want to know the truth.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. And nothing wrong with looking for it.
And it's like nobody's really ever come up with a solid explanation for it, really. I mean, there's theories, but
Should we set sail?
No.
Bert, I'd go with you. We could run the show from the boat on the way to Bermuda Triangle, man. You know what I mean? Right?
We would have to have like 20 vessels that were attached to each other with big, bright beacons with satellite trackers on them.
Right. GPS going
And then
down.
a GPS in my freaking brain so they can find me if I am not swimming my black ass in the ocean. I believe there's some places that man isn't supposed to go. The ocean's one of them, unless he's going out fishing a little bit.
Understood.
You're gonna start going where you can't see. Like,
I mean, this is so much. I don't know, man. This world is it's unexplained. I mean, it's like that thing that was just in the water recently. You see that on the news?
No.
It was something in
no.
the water.
you mean alive or?
Yeah.
Was it like a
it's
sea monster or something?
They don't know. You know what I'm saying? I think it was. I don't know if it was like Moscow or Europe. I think it was Europe. And it was something in the water, and it was big, and they were trying to videotape it, and then you could see like the back, but it like would stay low. But you can just see, you can tell it was huge.
Like a Loch Ness
it's kinda
monster
like
kind of
Loch
thing.
Ness.
Yeah.
And it was like, I don't know what that is. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know, that's crazy.
See, those are they give us the other day, like Loch Ness monster, the Bermuda Triangle, you know, Area 51, Tunguska.
Tunguska.
It's like
Groom Lake. Area 54.
Groove Lake.
Right.
Oh, woo!
Right.
Woo! We don't want to get on that one. Okay, for everybody that doesn't believe in extraterrestrials,
Get in that mic, Joker.
I don't see how. Do you believe in extraterrestrials? Or okay, this is what I propose to the guys, the so-called scientists, whatever the hell they were.
So we're freestyling.
They were way smart. I mean, I'm not saying they were. Way
apparently,
smarter
we're off
than me, but
pharmaceuticals now. So
They were.
we off pharmaceuticals.
Should we be off pharmaceuticals?
Well, we can. We can just leave it alone. People become aware of your. If you're
I
on the
just
stuff.
want people to like pay attention to what they're doing and don't listen to everything they see. On understand that these companies are run by money, and that is their responsibility. They're publicly traded. They have to make money.
Right.
They don't care about you. They don't care about you. They just want to make money.
Exactly.
Period.
So anybody that feels trapped on them, and that's no joke, if you want to come to Midwest Life Center, I'll help you get off. I've got a nutritionist that I work with in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, from the Life Enhancement Center. That's where I got my training. She is absolutely phenomenal. We will help you get off that stuff because you don't need to be on it. You need to be all that you can be, and you don't need to be on that.
Exactly.
I don't remember if you Natural Cures, Kevin Trudeau.
Mm-hmm.
Have you read that?
Mm-hmm.
Man,
Trudeau's awesome. Absolutely.
And I never understood why the government hated him so much until I read
That's
his
why.
book. And I was like, damn, like he just exposes everything, and he doesn't need to make money.
Right.
And that's what he's saying. He's like, I don't need to do this. I don't have to do this. He's like, I got money. Dude's got millions.
And real quick,
he's balling.
Madison Cavanaugh, and that's the 1 Minute Cure. I would definitely suggest picking that book up and reading it. And if it rings true for you, do the program. It is phenomenal. I've seen it work. When it says it cures cancer, it cures cancer. When it says it cures AIDS, it cures AIDS. Hepatitis, and I know those are heavy duty claims. Lymphoma, anybody that had that, cures that. I had some lymph nodes in my lower jaw, my right ear. Since completing that program, they're gone. And that's what's up. So it's worked for me. So I'd suggest reading the book, and if it's true for you, it's true for you. Do it. If it's not, then don't.
Right? And don't be like, as soon as you can get on that journey, please get on it. Yeah. I wish I would have pursued a long time ago. Man.
Me too. All right, so we done with
But you
pharmaceuticals?
can't change the past.
It's true.
We're going to unexplained.
Hey, go on, explain. Get ready to jump into these ETs.
Oh, no, I was gonna bust out a theory.
Go ahead.
This is Joker's theory.
All right.
Because there's evidence to support this. There were, I can't remember exact years. Okay, one was in the 60s. There was, do you remember the Arizona lights?
Yes.
You ever hear about that? Okay. Yeah. They saw the light and they're like, yeah, we didn't know it. And like 500,000 people saw it, so they couldn't deny it. Then they're like, oh, it's weather balloons.
Right.
Just hanging in the sky for like days and then, shining lights on and off. And then, yeah, okay. So, did you hear about the UFOs over the White House in D.C.?
When was this?
This was in the 60s. Hardly anybody has ever heard of it.
No.
I saw it one time.
All right.
One time, one reference to it, and they said it happened once and it never happened again. It was the only time that Washington ever had its airspace invaded. Mm-hmm. And the reason that they started the what were they called? That government committee that they set up to study or look for alien.
Area 51?
No, it was oh my God, what were they called? But it was a group. It was a group of people, they got scientists, politicians, they're like, figure this out. Okay, Majestic 12.
Okay.
Or Magic 12. Yeah, something like that. But this happened, right? Mm-hmm. What I think happened was, I think they've talked to our government, and they're like, look, this is what the deal is. This is what's going to have to happen, or we're just, just do it our way, cooperate, or what. And then, so what's the government going to do? They're not going to tell us. They definitely try to hide it, and then try to go along with this agenda. You talked about Groom Lake. That's like guaranteed. It's like, they didn't just build a whole huge giant underground, and that goes for miles. When they built Area 51, they were claiming it was like, it was already there though, because the natives that used to occupy that area have legends about that. So how is that a coincidence? That coincidence. It's like, I mean, even if you don't have proof of, like, undeniable proof, that kind of stuff, you look at it, I mean, it's got to be something, right? So I think we're just kind of like under some kind of agenda that nobody has any idea about, and they're just like treating us like cattle. And they don't want us to know stuff. They want us to keep us distracted. That's why our technology, that's why I've been playing this awesome game on my phone whenever I have time, because it's occupying me and I can't even help it. These things draw you in, occupy your time, so you can't investigate anything. You see something on the news, you care about it how long? Right. Until you got to change a diaper, and then this is going on, and the dog just ate your steak or something. Like, there's so many distractions in life, you can't even, keep your mind on. It's like, oh yeah, I was investigating this. This is what I'm. And then now there's only a handful of people in the world that do it, and then everybody calls them crazy.
But just like 9/11, I mean, that hasn't been a focus point in years. Now they get off of that. Now the Boston thing is huge, and they'll be off of that here shortly. They don't stay on. They don't. They let it go. They let it go. They expect us just to drop it, forget about everything.
Who remembers when the biggest thing was Casey Anthony?
Yeah. Refresh me on Casey Anthony.
Killed her kid in Florida, and they had the big, huge trial. She said that
the white,
yeah.
Write a book on it.
Okay, got it.
And see how quick that just, because they're just.
Hell, she would have
as fast as they can throw
dude,
it.
It's designed.
Rich.
Yeah.
Because they want to do a movie on her, have her write her own story. Hell, she would have just came out. What?
Yeah, it's designed to keep you sleeping. Designed to keep you re-stimulated. Designed to keep you away from what's going on. So do this. So, Jordan, and I know you love to look at that area of extraterrestrials and some cool stuff. Now, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, John Lear on YouTube. Now, John Lear is the son, I think it's, don't quote me, but it's Adam Lear. That's the guy who invented Lear aircraft, which Learjet. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so, and I know I say absolutely a lot, so. Absolutely. So that's what he does. So that's John Lear. It's his son. Now John gets into some heavy stuff. Okay, so John has flown some top secret missions and things like that. Did a lot of research on NASA with Bob Lazar. That's one of his buddies. Bob Lazar came to John, and Bob Lazar used to work for in Groom Lake, and you have to take a 737 to Groom Lake, and what Bob always said, he says, I liked it, but what I didn't like when I came back is that I really couldn't remember how my job went when I came back. So he's getting implanted when he comes back. I'm not going to get too deep into it, but check it out. Here's the one. If you can, look at colored photographs of the moon. There are colored photographs of the moon. All right? NASA airbrushes them. They airbrush all kinds of stuff out. Right? So in the photos, the early 60 photos of the moon, check them out. And then you make your own call from there.
Dark side of the moon.
Just like Bigfoot.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, and you're right. But I think this has a little bit more than. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty cool. I mean, and once again, what's true for you is true for you. But there's some stuff that is just like, all right, I see that.
well, this is what I present to people. I say, is it far-fetched for us to discover a new species next year of snake?
We just discovered a new species of something that came out of the water.
Yeah,
Right.
all kind of crazy ass fish.
We just discovered helium right before 1900, right after 1900.
Hey, I was thinking Loch Ness, like real
Right.
talk, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
People
I'm with
may
you.
be doing these hoax and all that stuff too, you know, but I don't think everything's a hoax. I think some
Right.
things are just, they're covered up.
Well, when things are
Agree.
How many times have you actually just seen a mouse out in the open like this? That wasn't like an extra bold hood mouse. That just, like, you don't see, like, they scurry when there's, you know, commotion
Mhm.
and
Right.
like, you know, so we're busy on top of the water going this way.
Mhm.
We're not looking down there and seeing what's going on, and anything we send down there to go, the things are fleeing from it. They just got a picture of a giant squid.
Right on.
Just got the first picture of a giant squid.
Yeah.
They thought they were down there, but they didn't know for sure.
Big.
Huge.
Yeah, baby.
And they're smart.
And you know, Joe, you could probably do this too. I'll tell you off the air. I want everybody else stealing the idea. Love you guys.
Don't be taking nothing.
Right. So yeah, on the pharmaceuticals, man, it's easy to get off it, and it's difficult, you know, for some people. But we just jack the nutrition up, bring them down off it. We don't want them sleeping. We don't want those people making the money
You
off
must
of
be
you.
awake.
Yes.
Got to be awake.
Stand up, citizen.
Stand up. I remember when I was sleeping. It was not. It was. Well, that's the only way you can really describe it. It's like being not awake.
Yeah, exactly. Not awake.
I don't know what was going on. I didn't know I wasn't awake. But well, how much time do we got here? We got about 10 more minutes.
We got 10 more minutes in there.
I want to run through this. I found this. I wrote this like over a year ago because I began drafting education reform.
Okay.
Because and one thing I realized about problems, which is what I don't get about politicians. I'm like, just get the data and look at it, and then use your common sense. I mean, duh.
Amen.
Obviously, it ain't working now. The way the kids are being educated isn't working now.
I agree.
They're not. I mean, my son was over last night, and there's not that. Kids aren't as ambitious as they should be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like they're really lackadaisical in their, just, you know. I mean,
In their demeanor.
Yeah, I was like, you need to, you know, show some more initiative, dude. Like, you know, help out more, and if you know, but it just seems like, and then they're like pampered, and nobody gets third place. Everybody gets a ribbon, and everybody gets a trophy. Like, I don't know. It's just like kids are getting real soft, and not in a good way, just in a horrible way.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know. I don't think they're like just starting at that when they start school. They're starting down that slippery slope of not even being ready for the world.
Mm-hmm.
They get out of school, and then real life happens to them, and then they take Prozac, and then they kill themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, which is
Yeah, I was just listening.
worst case scenario.
I was just listening to one of my lectures on the family dynamic, and you know, guys, it's awesome. Takes a village to raise a child. All right, so here we go. We got Stevie Jr., we got Joker Jr., you know. However, right, and we do the best we can at the house, right?
Right.
And if we're sane, right, and we're doing things, and everybody's gonna get mad. Stuff's gonna happen. It does, but can't, you know. But if it's chronically effed up over at the house, then it's bad. Then what happens is the child goes out into the community. He goes to school, and it's like, well, it's from bad parents, you know. That's
Right.
they'll say that, right? Okay, so it starts with us doing the best we can and loving that child, because nothing can stand in the way of love. Nothing can, right? Or we have a Bird Jr., right? There you go. So we have this child, then we bring him to the school, right? And the community pulls together.
Right.
Who was telling me about, was that you last week telling me about this family in this small town? It was just great. Was that you or was that somebody else?
Him in a small town.
Because everybody knew what was up. If you messed up,
Oh no, I was talking about growing up right here.
Okay, that wasn't it. It was somebody else. So they were talking about.
That's the only thing I can. I was like, you were definitely getting told on.
Right, and that's the thing. So it was this town. It was big, but you know the kids were just out playing. They were cool. Go play. There was no crime in this town, right? And everybody took care of one another.
There was no crime in that town.
If there was, I mean,
Well, I mean, not like.
I mean, they're well, you know, but no, I mean, they were responsible enough not to be stupid.
Right.
Because they were raised well, and the community pulled together. The schools, the parents, the grandparents.
Well, like the chick on YouTube that ate the cinnamon. Did you hear about that?
No.
It had a lung collapse.
Oh,
Yeah, because they saw it on YouTube, and you got everybody, you know, eating. And actually, I think one of my boys just did it whenever we were drinking one night, like last summer.
It collapsed his lung?
No.
Okay.
I don't even know how the hell that happened. I don't know if they're inhaling it while they're eating.
Yeah, that's the next thing. Huffing cinnamon.
I know, right? Hey, man, let's get a bump of that cinnamon, dog. Man,
That's crazy.
God.
I'm
So,
feeling spicy.
So, what? They just taking it, or
Yeah, they just, like, taking, they could eat, you know,
cinnamon
because,
is strong.
right, and that's
Yeah, it
that's
is.
the point, because it's, you know, and I'm like,
That's crazy.
yeah, so, I don't know.
so what was up with the cinnamon? I mean, how did
Well,
it come up?
see, they were dragging it out though, like it's like a big issue. Look, the kids over there. And I'm like, well, if they're dumbass kids, they're gonna do dumb stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I mean,
Don't have your kid. Can I go off for a second?
right?
Don't have your kid watch dumbass stuff.
Perfect example. My son, when he was over, or whenever he's, even if we're at his uncle's house, and he seems to think that because a lot of I tried not to, because I see a lot of my guys do this. Like, we'll be hanging out,
Mhm.
and then we'll be like, the kids in there, they're like, they're not paying attention to us. Then here comes Uncle Joker. Like, what are you guys doing? I mean, call it yeah. Don't
Oh,
ever
Benham.
think-
Yeah, well,
don't
that's
ever
cool.
think that I'm not, like, I'm
Aware.
always aware.
Yeah, and they love to be acknowledged, man. Children love to be
Oh, yeah.
acknowledged. They do. It's like, hey, what's going on,
I'm
man?
like, I just see what you guys are doing. What's up?
Right, and not invalidating them, just letting them do
Right.
it, you know.
I think
Hey.
that's why they show out too.
Well, my son was on YouTube, and he's watching stuff to me that's just ridiculous. I'm like, I don't even see the humor in it, or it's just ignorant. It's like, you know, like a fart song, something, or, you know, like that's dumb. And I'm like, yeah, I was a kid before, and like, yeah, that was, but it's like everything he went to was totally ignorant, and I'm like, you can't go on YouTube, dude. I just kicked him off of it. And I was
Right
like,
on.
when you like, you know, I don't care about. I'm not real strict on like the music. He can't listen to like gangster rap or nothing, but like he likes the Macklemore.
Thrift shop.
Yeah, thrift shop.
That's fun.
And that's, you know, liquors and that. But I'm not. That's not a big deal to me. I mean,
Right.
he knows how to talk. He knows what language, you know, when and when not to use it.
There you go.
So I'm not worried about that at all. But yeah, I'm like, you can't watch this YouTube, dude. You're like, you don't even know how to use it. I was like, when you know how to use this computer to get information that you need, well, you can get back on it.
There you go.
Because it just annoys me having to actually, even if I'm in the next room and I can kind of hear it, and I'm like, nah,
Right on.
I hate ignorance.
You know, and we, you know, like we were talking, I think it was a couple weeks ago on enhancing. You know, if Little Joker's making, you know, a mud pie, or you know, a GI Joe. You know, even if he's got a GI Joe, you know, and like another one's got a headlock or something. It's like, man, that's awesome. That looks so cool. You know, just enhance it. That's the best mud pie I've ever seen, man. Dude, how'd you do it? And you just get interested, and they just flow back to you.
And I love it when I can do that, because he's actually been on his P's and Q's, so I've actually been able to do that a lot
That's cool.
more lately. And in real talk, if you're a parent and you yell at your kids, don't think that you don't have to apologize for your kids if you yell at them and you were being a prick and being wrong. because that's not cool. Just because they're your kid doesn't mean that they are subjective to your abusive. When you get pissed off and then you take it out on them and then not apologizing, that's not. Because I did that to my son this morning because I was really stressed out about something. I forgot that when he came over on Friday, but went back home and then got dropped back off Saturday. And I thought he had his backpack. I was tired. I was like, so I'm like, you got your backpack? He's like, oh, I think it's in the car. Because he has a really bad time keeping up with stuff. And I was like, all right, well, I think my driver's door's unlocked. Go grab it. And he comes in and he's like, it's not in there. And I just, like, I'm starting to get irritated immediately. I mean, it doesn't take me long to, like, start going like this. And I'm like, where's your backpack, dude? I was like, it's your stuff. Like, you need to know where this, like, that's important stuff. You need to have it in a place to where, I mean, just gave him this whole spiel about being responsible and talking all that. And I was just being a dick because it was at his house the whole time, you know? So when I realized that, I called his mom and I was like, let me talk to Josiah. And I took it on. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry I yelled at you.
Oh, good for you, Joe. Attaboy.
I was being a dick. Dad was being a dick. It happens.
But you know what? You had the responsibility to stand up and go, you know what? I'm sorry, I overreacted on you. But
because my father never did that. I mean, it seemed like the only thing he ever did was invalidate me on everything. Right. So I was like, I'm not going to do that to my son. So when I do it and I'm wrong, I make sure that I'm like, okay, but that was my bad.
Right. And it's like this, you know, with the children, reward the upstat and penalize the downstat.
Right.
It's that simple.
Exactly.
But, I mean, there's a lot of little adventures in between there. Don't get me wrong with children. I mean, you know. Yeah.
You just had how many kids you got?
I got 4.
Damn.
I didn't know.
My stepson makes 5. I raised my stepson from a previous relationship.
That a boy bird.
It's my oldest daughter's brother.
Way to stand up, man.
So that gives me 5.
Yeah.
It takes a village.
Yep, it does, man.
It takes organization.
Yeah,
you know,
that ain't no joke, man.
You know, and managing things, you know what I'm saying?
Joke.
Because you just had twins, right?
Yeah, well, they're 2 years old now. But yeah, it's... Well, she does all the work pretty much.
I seen you at my son.
I'm always
my
everywhere else.
Too. That's same time, around the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And they're so much fun now.
They are.
All right, I'm gonna wrap it up.
All right, Joe.
With this,
see you again, baby. Bert,
drop this off for the youth real quick.
All right.
All right, I wrote this long time ago. Not that long ago, but it was pretty much it was for a speech I was gonna write. But I just thought I should throw it out there. Cinco de Mayo. I want to leave everybody with feeling good.
There you go.
I hope you feel good when you leave, Bert.
Thank you.
Okay. The first thing was self-awareness. I kind of scribbled on the back of a piece of paper. When I take notes, I don't really do it in organization or anything. I just write stuff down.
He's scribbling, baby.
The self-awareness is created from physical and emotional experiences, plus positive and negative influence, and that equals your personal disposition. So you got to be careful of how you handle your experiences and who you let influence you. Know thyself. So, what is your true ID? How do you label yourself? Is it with fashion trends, affiliations, cliques, talents, responsibilities? So you ID your disposition, and then you get your MO, I call it method of operations. How you handle problems, analyze situations, how to change the surroundings around you to where. You know how there's that guy that can go into a room if it's really tense and he can it'll just be like whoosh. He's like, man, why are you guys and he ain't really do anything. He's just a positive person and he's not he doesn't have that negative flow with him.
That's right. We can get into all that too, for sure.
So figure out how to change your surroundings, your perspective, your relationships if they need to be. And self-esteem, huge. I had a huge self-esteem problem growing up. So you feed your confidence, not your ego, and you surround yourself with people that do the same.
Exactly.
You always learn more about your passions and interests.
And
Enhancement. Never be afraid to invest in yourself. These are a lot of mistakes I've made in my life.
Understood.
And your mind will always be your biggest asset in life, because that's what's going to take care of business. So if your mind ain't right, nothing else is going to be either.
That's right.
And you seek approval from yourself and pat yourself on the back when possible and necessary. And if you're not happy with yourself, nobody else is probably either. So you need to, find out what's wrong with you. So time and opportunity. Ladies and gentlemen, today's decisions shape tomorrow's world. I know that sounds cliche, but it's not really. I mean,
it's a fact.
It's a fact.
It's a fact.
A decision I made 4 months ago put me in this seat right here. And it was just I didn't even know. And then there was a decision before that went to that decision. Mm-hmm. It's really fractal how.
It's a journey. It's a path.
Yeah. So every time you get an opportunity to better yourself, take it. And the more you better yourself, the more positive opportunities you'll find, or they'll find you. And work a little every day to make your dreams come true. All right.
Nice.
I'm done. Citizens, happy Cinco de Mayo. I'd like to thank my co-host Steve.
You're very welcome, Mr. Joker. Bird,
Boy,
good to see you
Bird.
again, baby.
EOM, check him out on Reverb Nation. Check out Steve at
Listening to Vendetti's Block on 1698.